is like I showed the table previously. It's only transposed. So here is the easy levels, so we can see which elements in which particular level should be introduced. So this is intermediate level, and hard constitutes all elements that were not covered in Thesis. So the second layer, this is here constitutes BPMN elements, or alignment of BPMN elements. This part constitutes the BPMN models developed in form of a description, not the particular models. So this is to give a freedom for the modeler to learn how to model. This is how this is the proposed modeling method which to use, and in this part constitutes process soundness and patterns and anti-patterns in order to support modeler to learn BPMN more correctly, and in order to search for additional information. Next level is level which constitutes the game elements and instructional design elements which are affected in one level of a game. So this is equipment from if you look from game design element plus equipment, these are BPMN elements which are used by player. Effectors, these are elements which users use to interact with this equipment. Objectives is the goal of the particular level, what to model. So here we develop models, but this states what to model, and of course scoring of particular level. Next part. This level constitutes information and instructional and game design elements that are applied to the set of the levels. So easy, intermediate, hard levels of a game. So action domain links. So it poses that player is engaged by his character. Gameplay defines the rules, how to play. So assessment is here in the assessment is Bloom's taxonomy used in order to assess how player is gaining knowledge, whether he is or not gaining any knowledge. If he is not gaining knowledge, so the game is poorly developed already in that stage. Yes, and the final layer is setting of the whole game. So problem learner link is to defines how you attract the student or player. Game story and backstory is more detailed description of all it. Retention and transfer, which wasn't addressed before, is applicable and can be realized by using modeling tool like interface. So the skills you are using to model in game can be applied in real life. So yes, game flow shows what kind of challenges, quizzes and tasks players should provide. So design framework implementation, I touched how to say this particular point by addressing this and suggesting to use already developed game game engines and development environments. So they are for free, and there are for free, and there are of course commercial game engines which are more elaborated and more powerful, but additional costs. And one of examples is I have made an attempt to create some parts of the game in particular game design environments. It's called Game Maker Studio. It's a commercial tool, but with some limitations. It's possible to use free of charge. So a bit about tool that in this part, in this part here, you constitute the elements, so it is maybe not seen, but I have put in some basic BPMN elements already here. By objects, it's possible to attract, not attract, but to attach particular actions to these objects. So in order to move this object here, yes, you have to define this this part and an object which makes possible to develop to move the part. Yes. So conclusions. It maybe wasn't addressed particularly here in the presentation, but the model size to develop should be should consist of 15 diagram elements. First elements to be presented to player are sequence flow, task, end and start events, pool, lane, exclusive gateway, parallel gateway, and message flow. It was it's according to the statistical data I analyzed. Yes, so in order to provide effective learning, the instructional elements, game design elements must be aligned with learning content. So, yeah, assessment of players' knowledge is crucial in order to determine whether the game is fulfilling its purpose or not. As I stated before, by using Bloom's taxonomy as one of the tools for assessing learners' knowledge, it can be assessed quite early. So yes, this one particular conclusion number 5 is that target audience of the series games are 18. Well, I was looking at more from BPMN games, so from 18 to 40 as age group, from 41 to 50 in one particular research I discussed, scored significantly lower with the game than without the game. So maybe for the up from 40 years, it wouldn't be suggested to use, or better educate them. So yeah, and to gain the most learning results, it's recommended to use series game as supplementary to traditional lectures in order to gain utmost results. So the further research, due to lack of statistics data, only the part of BPMN elements were discussed and included in this particular BPMN series game design framework, and the further research is necessary. And the second, what's
Just finish.
Yes, and the second conclusion proposition was that due to the dual nature of the proposed framework, as it constitutes almost two independent parts, learning content and the game design and instructional design elements, it can be applied for other modeling notations, but the further research is necessary in order to prove that it is applicable. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.